AMC is raising its prices. We have more details on Fantastic Four, and The Last of Us is having record-breaking viewership numbers. All this and more on this week's episode of Freeze Frame.
Welcome back to Freeze Frame, brought to you by Strictly Casual, the show where we stop to take a moment to discuss all the heavily talked about news of the week having to do with movies, TV, streaming, and pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis. Today I'm joined by Ryder Maldonado, baby, the Super Bowl. What do I want to call you?
I'm the
Super
Tom
Bowl
Brady
what?
fan. No, I am
The
now.
80 for Brady, Super Bowlian. Welcome to episode 98, everybody. How are we doing?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Happy post Super Bowl. Did your team win? Did your team lose? Was your team even in the Super Bowl?
Team was not in the Super Bowl, did not care enough, but I'm glad the Chiefs won.
Yeah, it was a crazy game.
It's interesting, at least.
Yeah, it was had a little more spice to it with the ties every once in a while. I was like, okay, this is a game.
It kept it interesting. I hate when they pull ahead, like someone pulls ahead in the second quarter and then the back half is boring.
Yeah.
It was a fun game.
That was
Even though people are like, oh, bad calls. Just everybody used so many bad calls. But I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Did you enjoy the commercials real quick? Besides like movie trailers,
Like
like the funny commercials, I guess.
I don't know.
There wasn't that many.
There was zero standout that I think of now because the commercials that they spent extra money on, they're released before the Super Bowl, so they're not even Super Bowl commercials. Like I'm not even.
Yeah.
The Breaking Bad one was great,
that.
but what are you gonna do?
Now.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I can't think of a single standout. Like I can't think of a single one actually that I watched.
Yeah, a lot. I just watched them on Twitter before, so I don't remember.
Yeah,
I was like,
even the movie trailers. I didn't see Dial of Destiny play because I was late to it. I guess I feel like I watched the whole Super Bowl. Didn't see that trailer.
Me too.
Yeah. I saw the Flash trailer, but it was like a 30 second thing. Looked really cool. I haven't seen the full trailer yet, but it looked really cool.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk.
And then I saw. I didn't see anything from Guardians. Zero.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's crazy because right before the game, dude, it was just the new trailer for Guardians, full trailer released. 5 minutes later, the new trailer for Flash, full trailer, and then Indiana Jones was just a 30-second ad. But they just released them all back to back to back, all in the beginning of the game before the game even
feels
started.
Weird.
So I was like, what? It should be during the game.
Did they show them live?
I think they did
like,
in the beginning of the game though, and I couldn't see it, but it was like way in the beginning half, not even first quarter. I want to say like way.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
wild stuff.
Let's get into the trailers. Tell me about them. Tell me about the trailers a little bit. You said you liked the Flash and the Batman because I didn't see them, so you're gonna have to tell me.
Okay, so yeah, a little recap. So Indiana Jones. We'll start with that one. Indiana Jones was like, come on, it's our bread and butter right now. It's all we're getting excited for. And then we got more story details, even though it's 30 seconds. You know, we're harkening back to kind of who the foe is, right? An old villain that Indy messed with. I think it's an old Nazi. I think Mads Mikkelsen is an old Nazi. So I think it's perfect. Good villain, antithesis to him. The Flash was crazy because they showed a lot. They really revealed a lot. Kind of.
I mean, in the 30 seconds, I saw General Zod. Supergirl? Question mark?
Yeah. James Gunn was like, look, we're changing everything. Just show everything. Just enjoy that movie and just see it and see it or not. But like, we're just gonna show you everything. So that way, it's like, it's on all the cards are on the table for that film, right? We have General Zod, multiverse, the Flash. You know, he finds another Flash, so it's him. It's two Barrys, right?
Right.
Because he wants to stop his mom's death. We know the CW story. We know that's the story of Flash. So no Superman. It's Supergirl. It's not
Supergirl.
Ben. They show Ben Affleck's Batman, right? He's still.
Oh, Ben Affleck's in it?
Yeah, it's his last appearance. I was shocked too because I was like, wow, there he is.
Oh, I didn't even see. Yeah.
And then Keaton. It's Keaton's Batman now in the new universe he goes to. Has the 89 music, the bat suit, the Batwing. Everything's there from the original, right? So
yeah, I saw the clip where he pulls off the cover and it's the Batmobile underneath, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the cool part, right?
It was hype.
And there's some awesome action toward the end with like two Flashes and Supergirl and Bat. I mean, they're just all together against Zod. And, they really just laid it out and said, here's what it is.
Right.
So,
yeah. Do you think they showed too much?
No,
they needed to show. No, they needed to show this because they needed to sell people in this movie.
100% right. I think it's just like, look, we're gonna give you everything because it doesn't matter. Like, this isn't like spoilers. It's like show everything because At the end, I guess people would just care about the ending, because what are they going to do to delete that universe and say, here's the start of a new one? That's essentially what this is.
They have to. Did they do some reshoots for that? They must have done some reshoots.
I think now, yeah, probably reshoots and maybe something where maybe not Barry or maybe someone else is, of course, like, this is a new universe. I don't know. Kind of corny. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to make a big movie.
The quantum realm machine breaks, and then all of a sudden they're in a new. Barry looks over at other Barry and says, "This doesn't look like home." And they walk off to the sunset.
Like,
yeah,
where am I? Cut to black. It's something like that. I want to say it's gonna be something like that.
That's gonna be ridiculous. But, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Another nice trailer. I think. Look, I'm more excited for Ant-Man than I am Guardians, just because of ramifications for the universe. But I do think for any Guardians fan, this is it. This is the ultimate. This is the finale of the trilogy, and we had some good stuff. Villain, high evolutionary. He's the one who made Rocket Raccoon, so we get kind of origins on that guy. I think it's going to be very emotional. And
did they show anything in the trailer like that?
Yeah, they did. So high evolutionary. Cool. They showed him working on a rocket, and Rocket's on a lab table, real tiny little. He's a little baby, and he looks scared. Like, poor guy, he's all scared, and that's what he made him. Who he is, a robot. He made him talk and everything. Yeah. And then
it's interesting that, like, I feel like I've experienced that story before, but it's not an MCU.
Yeah, right.
It's all in the Telltale game.
Yeah.
Which is like the big focus of that game was.
Oh yeah.
High evolutionary and Rocket and Rocket's lover and all this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, so you get to learn about that. They'll have that character that you're talking to. Quill's trying to get Gamora back, so that's gonna be kind of funny. Kind of like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't at the end of this. It doesn't look. They might just be friends. Unfortunately, I guess we'll see how that goes.
Well, they're all gonna die, dude. It's the last one.
They're all gone. They're all gonna die, probably. Yeah. They really are screaming at the end, like, that's it. And then Adam Warlock was kind of the big guy. They're not showing too much of him, but
he's super uninteresting to me.
Yeah,
like even how they introduced him in the second one in the post-credit scene. It's like, I don't really. There's no reason for me to care about him. Not a single thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be up to the movie to make people understand who he is and his power level too. Because, again, I hate to say, I hope they don't nerf him. Like, I don't know, it feels weird to say, but. In the comics, in the video games, we know he is one of the most powerful characters ever, right? So I don't know, maybe they're just waiting to show, like, this guy is going to be huge against Kang, or I don't know, anybody. I don't know if that's, but
right.
Yeah, they have barely showed anything of the guy. It's just him. Right. They showed him flying, and it's that meme from Black Adam where the heads are
like,
so
sure.
That's about it. He's been memed.
I'll watch the trailer today or something and see how it is.
Yeah,
maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just skip it. I don't know.
Maybe just skip it. Maybe I don't know. I'll
just skip it. I've already, like, I'm gonna watch it. And it's one of those things. I don't need to get sold on it. The trailers are to sell people in the movie.
Yeah, because they show a lot of good stuff, and it's like, don't just wait. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like trailers serve a different purpose
now.
Like, they're not just to sell the movie anymore.
Yeah, you're sold. You're gonna see it, so.
Yeah, I'm already gonna watch it. I'm gonna probably see it opening day. We're probably gonna go see it day one at the Chinese theater. Or whatever, like that. Yeah.
But that's.
I'd rather have an extra surprise.
I know it's a long recap, but those were kind of the highlights. Lots of other interesting stuff.
Yeah. I'm most excited for Indy of all these indies.
Absolutely, dude, amazing. Something I don't know if you noticed, and this is for everybody too to comment on. A lot of companies were collaborating, like. Coors Light, Miller Lite, right?
The beer companies, yeah.
GM and Netflix, right? Like, such weird. I don't know. Lots of collaborations. They were probably like, "Hey, let's split the check. This is too expensive."
Money, baby. Like, we don't want to spend $15 million on this 30 seconds, but I'll spend $7.5 million. You want to do a little halvesies and
you want to have it? Yeah.
Go for
Split the bill and let's do it together. It makes for some interesting commercials. I was like, it was a truck, and then it's like, watch Netflix now.
I did notice that one. Like, of all the collaborations, that one was the most odd.
Right.
Cool,
and then
what was up with the bunny throwing people down the rabbit hole? What was that for?
Oh man, dude. And that was like the one that I was paying attention to the most. Now I don't.
Me too.
I'm blank on it. Oh, you know what?
I don't even know what it was.
It was Voodoo. I think it was. No,
Tubi.
Tubi. Thanks.
Tubi had crazy marketing.
Dude,
tell us what's wild.
What they did.
Yeah, they did the whole thing where it's like, it pops up a screen as if someone had clicked the Tubi app, and then same thing they did in She-Hulk, where the Disney Plus comes up, same exact thing. Like
and
that.
you were aware of it too, right? Like instantly, it was like, "Oh, this is a great commercial."
Brandon reached for the remote, and we were about to click it, and
Dude,
I was like,
"Man, my parents instantly what screaming? What did you do? Did you touch the remote? Give it back to me!" And I'm like, "I did nothing.
Yeah,
I didn't touch it."
It's funny. This week and last week was the first time I've used Tubi ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tubi has Lego Masters on it, and I've been watching Lego Masters with Will Arnett, and it's awesome. It's like a good before sleep show. Like, I watch like 20 minutes of it, and then fall asleep. It's great.
That's awesome. There's a lot of services, and yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out what has what.
It has a bunch of free movies too, with ads, of course. But I was like, wow, Tubi has a nice offering. A lot of cooking shows too. I'll go crazy on there. I don't know. We'll see.
That's great.
Ryder, I want to talk to you a little bit about The Last of Us as well. We didn't do a stream this week. We did not do a stream. But we have some not weird news, but really cool news is that Last of Us viewership is up millions every single week. Like they've increased over 1 million day one watchers every single week. Obviously, the ratings from this week's episode has not dropped. It released on Friday because the Super Bowl was on Sunday. We're recording this on the Monday following the Super Bowl, day after. So this article is based on last week's episode, in which The Last of Us delivered a series high on Sunday with 7.5 million people tuning in first night, like Sunday night.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 17% increase from episode 3's 6.4 million, despite going head to head with the Grammys that night. It still got 6.5 million. So week over week, it's getting more and more and more. And it must be, I don't think it's advertising. I think it's word of mouth. I think this is a word of mouth show, which is super cool.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, look, there's a lot of people in the game trying to get friends and family involved. And I think there's a lot of people that are like, hey, I'm starting a new show. I don't know it, but I think you should watch it with me because it's actually pretty good because they like Pedro or Bella, right? Like,
yeah,
there's so many aspects of it that people are probably telling them like, you know what? It is great.
Yeah.
Which goes to show.
There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, it goes to show the story, right? It really is a good story when you can get people watching and
all my conversations about this show, like, make me think of how I have no idea how they're gonna do the second season.
Oh, dude, every
single conversation is that.
And yeah, because like, yeah, I'll say briefly because I don't want to, no spoilers, but like, okay, in the ending, right? In the ending of the, I'm not gonna say
what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not gonna say specific things. I'm gonna be but you're gonna be on the same wavelength as me, right?
But we don't even have to beat around the bush. I just think like overall, the storytelling in the second game is different than the storytelling in the first game, and that's where I don't know how they're gonna adapt it to the screen.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question. Okay, you know how in the ending of part 1. In part 2, we meet new characters that are in part 1, right?
Yes.
In the ending, right there. I wonder if they casted characters for these characters.
Oh, of the second game to put in the first game?
Yeah, that we'll see in the end of part 1 in the season.
I hope not.
Okay.
Oh, like, unless they're a kid.
A mask, or like the mask of a person.
Oh, they'll have to,
right? Have like to. That. I hope that's a significant person, right? Like, I don't know. I would hate for them to do like kind of like the game where they make it after the fact, like, oh, now we casted this person. It's like,
yeah.
Who was that? So that's what I'm looking out for. Like, oh, are they gonna all these people? Right? They're all in there. I feel like, oh, there's that person, but people won't pick up on who any of these people are. They won't know until season 2 when
it's not important until season 2. Yeah.
So it's like, wow.
Interesting. But yeah, episode 5 was really good. I absolutely loved it. Thought it was a highlight. Honestly, I mean, I could say that about almost every episode this season, except episode 4. That seems to be like the least important in my opinion. But episode 5 is so good. I mean,
bloaters were great, clickers, everything.
Henry and Sam, so good. If you haven't watched it, just go watch it. I know we didn't release on Sunday. You got to go. Just watch it. It's great.
I'm sure you're having fun listening about like people talking about the story of that didn't know about Henry and Sam, because that's how I'm Peyton. He's like, oh, I feel so bad about Henry and Sam, and I was like, yeah. That's them. Poor guys.
That's it. Yeah.
That's them. Yep.
That's their story. They added more backstory and stuff, which is so good. And the addition that Sam's deaf?
Yeah.
Sam's deaf was really cool. I really like that as well.
It just makes sense.
All right, what else you got for me?
Okay, Fantastic Four starts filming early next year. They're getting into it now. They're starting to, the meats and bones. They're building this up. Matt Shackman, Matt Shackman talked about Star Trek. He left Star Trek to work on this because he was like,
Yeah.
I gotta work on Fantastic Four. Talks about the casting stuff. He says we're in early process there. They still haven't. Maybe they've casted right, but they're still early trying to finalize everything. I see maybe Comic-Con. Maybe we get an announcement at Comic-Con potentially, but again, don't hold your breath. Here we go. Film Collider is a little part that we're talking about here. The director took the reins of Fantastic Four from John Watts. Though his attention has also been on Apple TV Plus and Legendary's untitled Godzilla and the Titans series, which I didn't know Matt Shackman was working on that.
Yeah.
So he's kind of split a little bit. He faces the daunting task of translating the monster universe into a small screen, 10 episodes following the Godzilla vs. Kong. But yeah, now he's trying to...
What? And it's on Apple TV?
Yeah, I'm shocked because we had talked about them making series and spin-offs of this universe,
but for HBO, right? Why would it be on the Apple TV?
Oh.
What am I missing here? What's the disconnect? Because like
Godzilla
and Kong, all the Godzilla movies have been HBO.
Yeah, but
Or Warner
like
Bros.
I thought that they were doing. I remember. I don't know. Maybe just making this up in my head. That the series.
Do you
were
think
all
that this
different.
is like following the events of 2021's Godzilla vs Kong? It's not.
Because I remember there's one with like Kurt Russell. I think his son too. Like they're doing like a weird father-son story that's like on Paramount. I don't know. Like all his services have stake into this franchise. I think.
Sure.
So it is weird. They're just throwing it everywhere, right? Different series, and then I guess movies is HBO, Warner Brothers. But yeah, somehow Apple got involved. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no.
There's not. There's
clue.
not much on it too about it because it's still early. But yeah, Matt Shackman's working on that, and then he says asked if he plans on directing anything else. He reaffirmed his stance, saying, "I don't think so. I'm still finishing up the Godzilla project. We're in post on that and have a few more months on that, so they're getting that done." And then Fantastic Four is pretty much my life until Valentine's Day of 2025. So that's of course when
I'm sure you kind of have to get totally
involved,
not drawn into it, but like it has to take over for a little while. Your life.
Yeah, a lot of people. There's a lot of just like any comic book movie, but this one I guess significant because of the casting. I guess people want to know like it's the family, right? Like this is the family of Marvel, and I mean it has to be. It can't be okay. It kind of has to succeed.
Well, there's already 2 okay movies and 1 terrible one, so there's like they have to do good for Fantastic Four.
It needs redemption. The family needs their redemption.
It's the third swing. Like we're about to strike out here. Like if something's happening, so that would be really really bad.
I wouldn't mind bringing back the original, all those casts. Secret Wars, bring them all back.
I'm sure they will.
Michael B.
They'll be like money. There was a trailer in the Super Bowl yesterday with the guy that plays the Thing in the old Fantastic Four movies, and he was in like a serialized cop show.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
Pretty interesting. All right, let's go into the next one here. Right here is the live-action Spider-Man Noir series.
Wild.
This is weird to me. Set in 1930s New York City, is getting spun up at Amazon. No word of casting yet. Amazon having the rights to Spider-Man, but I guess
wild.
Here's what I thought. Here's what I thought about. There's a grinder going upstairs, and it's just so distracting. I'm so sorry. There's like blenders going. I have no idea what's happening right now.
It's a cooking fest in the DeSantis home.
Man, something's happening.
Oh, something's always happening.
Here's my thought. Sony has the rights to Spider-Man, right? Still. So I think Sony must be giving Amazon certain things, such as like Sony gave them Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be on Amazon, and they have now this Spider-Man Noir series, things that, which is kind of interesting to me, because like now Sony's going to have things on every platform, which is great, good for them. I mean, they have that Netflix God of War show, they have Horizon on Amazon, they have Gran Turismo, which is going to theaters, and then I don't know what else it's doing, but
Ghost of Tsushima? Did you say that already? My bad.
Ghost of Tsushima, but we don't know. That's just going to be theater. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's not going to be a streamer. Yeah, it's interesting to me. So this is from Variety, the second known project based on Sony-controlled Marvel characters at Amazon Prime Video and MGM. It was previously announced that Amazon was moving forward with the series Silk Spider Society from showrunner Angela Kang, with several other shows in the works. It is unknown at this time which other Marvel characters will be featured in other Amazon shows, although Sony currently controls over 900 characters associated with the Spider-Man franchise.
That's crazy. They're
I didn't
really
even know there's 900 is crazy.
But like we know, after the success of Into the Spider-Verse and now Across the Spider-Verse, if they're putting so many characters, they're probably like, okay, let's go live action, let's get more budgets, and let's make more of these stories, right? Let's focus on all these characters that people are growing to love, like Spider-Man Noir, and like even the Pig one, like they could do a cartoon of that. Like people love the Pig. There's a lot. Silk is a character that's beloved. Gwen Stacy could have her own movie. Like there's so many. I mean, I can imagine the meetings of like boom, boom, boom. It's like it's here, it's now, it's wow and how.
Yeah, it's like let's keep going until people actually hate us and will never watch another superhero thing again.
Do you know that reference? What I'm talking about? It's
what?
It's
Always
here,
Sunny?
it's now, it's wow and how. It's
No, what's that?
That's Sam Raimi from Spider-Man. When he's putting up the advertising at the Daily Bugle, he's like, it's here, it's now, it's wow and how. That's actually mine. That's Sam Raimi. He was talking to Jay Jonah. He was like promoting like Spider-Man, or he was trying to figure out. Yeah, I'll send you that clip. It's
That's
funny.
epic. Send me it. Send me it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
When I was reading about this, this is from Chris Miller and Phil Lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which
producing
is the interesting part of this to me. I don't care about this character. Like it's just like it's a character. It's a Spider-Man. It's not going to be Nicolas Cage, so you've already lost the charm for me. Like you've lost the part of it that is interesting to me, and now it's Spider-Man in a trench coat, black and white. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm sure they got a good pitch for this, but like I don't care about it until I see it. I guess there's no shot they get Nicolas Cage for this.
No, I see like Universal and how they kind of Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious. Those are their crown jewels right now. That's all you see in the parks, right? That's all they got. They're just pushing that out. I think Sony is like, look, Spider-Man, that's our one thing we got.
That's all we got.
Let's pump this out. This is all
Yeah.
They're like, we got money.
I mean, they got Last of Us now.
They got Last of Us too.
That's under their belt. Like things like that.
And like you said, also the video games. They're like, look, we got something with these video games. Let's just start making content on these games.
Yeah, they're gonna try.
So
it's gonna be crazy. They're not all gonna hit like The Last of Us.
No, yeah.
I can't expect it.
They can't.
It won't happen. It's not gonna happen.
Because they have the original they have so much love that was poured into that. I don't know if anybody's like, listen, Gran Turismo, it's a story of generations.
I can't wait for Gran Turismo. That trailer was awesome.
I'm there. Yeah, it looks awesome. So cool.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see. Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I'll mention. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I was gonna mention the Batmans.
Mention it. I don't really have a dream casting.
Yeah, I know it was tough. I had to look up a lot of actors. Okay, here's some. Okay, new Batman's coming. There's also a lot of confusion with all the Batmans going on right now. But some castings I saw: Oliver Jackson Cohen, the Invisible Man. That actor's also in a Netflix show called Haunting of Hill House. Great looking guy. I think he'd be cool. Jake Gyllenhaal. I love the guy, so sure, throw him in there. Richard Madden. Richard Madden's from the Eternals. I don't know if you would want to do another superhero thing. Michael Fassbender. I mean, he looks cool like a Bruce Wayne, but again, lots of comic stuff in his career.
Big, like, I don't know, tall guys with scruff.
Yeah,
that's kind of the overlying.
And the hard part too is it's hard for me to find like actors that aren't that well known, because I was like trying to search and I couldn't think of it.
That's why. No, that's what I want. I
me
don't
too.
want another actor. Like Robert Pattinson has a history, has a past, you know. But I feel like it wasn't. He's reinvented himself in the last couple of years, where it felt right to be like, okay, let's see his take on Batman. And it really took till the trailers for people to kind of be sold on that. Like they were not true believers at first for that.
Of course.
But I would like to see someone this time that is not established. Like I want to see someone as Batman and not. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, we don't know what age they're going for. That's why I was like, I mean, I don't think they're going young, but how old are we talking? Like, I don't know, Ben Affleck old or like younger, like 30s, 40. Like, there's so many different
how
eras.
old do you think Ben Affleck is? Just kidding.
Like late 40s. I just meant like not probably. Like old, but he's like the gray-haired, like I'm done Batman. Like
sure,
the farthest Batman
in real life and in the movies.
Well, not in real life. I meant the Bruce Wayne. I mean, I'm more thinking Bruce Wayne.
No, I know. But
I think they made him older.
He's like, I'm done with Batman. He doesn't want to be Batman anymore.
Oh yeah, he's done for sure. He might direct. I mean, hey, they might give him the directing, but I don't know about that.
That'd be crazy. Did you see
Redemption?
That Nike trailer with with
yes.
Ben Affleck in it. That looks pretty good.
Dude, I love the Air Jordan. I love everything about Nike. Great. This is a story that is going to be great. I think, I'm with you.
My roommate watched it and he's like, I can't believe it. This is just going to make shoe prices go up again. I was like, this is funny.
That's true. They're releasing a new Air Jordan in a couple days, and it's up from 160 to 200. And I don't know about that.
Of course. Yeah.
But it is a cool shoe.
It's pretty funny. All right. I'm going to count you down to this clip. Are you ready?
Yeah. Almost forgot.
In 3, 2, 1.
Here's how you could be saving tons of money when seeing AMC films following their recent price increase on seats. We're going to tell you how you could be saving money. We got some details for you guys. Let's get into it. Saving money.
Yeah, so here's what we got here. AMC is riding pretty high right now with its biggest competitor, Regal, in the midst of bankruptcy and rapid closing of theaters across the U.S. As such, AMC is, of course, looking for ways to make even more money, and it appears it's landed on the next thing. Charging you higher prices for better seats. Literally the worst thing I can possibly imagine happening. The company announced Sightline at AMC, a new ticketing strategy that will see moviegoers paying more for prime seats and less for those seats that make you leave the theater with a crink in your neck, aka the seats that Ryder and I saw Cabin at the Woods in. Ryder, what else do we have here?
Okay.
Knock at the Woods.
There are also some caveats to this pricing, though. Only AMC stub members can get the value Sightline pricing, meaning if you aren't signed up for their free membership, you'd pay the regular price for those seats. Paying members of the AMC Stubs A-list membership will get the benefit of being able to book preferred Sightline seats without the upcharge, allowing you the immersive privilege of paying extra to not pay extra. So here you go.
The Sightline, if you're looking at a map of an AMC theater, the seats that I would usually go to first, which is about 4 rows back, and then 4 rows in, like that sort of thing. Yeah. It's like a square.
Yeah.
A square in the center of the theater, which I would say are the best seats, probably what the sound is tuned for and everything like that. They're an extra $2 each for those seats, which isn't ridiculously expensive, but it's stupid. This is dumb. And then the first 2 rows of the theater, the rows closest to the screen, are you get to save $2 if you're signed up for AMC Stubs, which is their free. I don't know. I don't really know what AMC Stubs would get you. I don't think it's.
Yeah, if it's their free one, it might be just like getting like rewards.
Watch 50 movies, and then get a free one, something like that.
So that doesn't really seem, that's something for fun, I guess. But like we talked about with the A-list, our buddy Peyton has it. Again, like we know the details. You get free movies, per week or per month when you pay the membership.
So I had it for 3 months at the end of 2021, which was when award season was happening, and. I had set it up with friends where it was like every Tuesday night we're going to see a movie. Every Tuesday night. And we did. And it was totally worth it. It was $19 for AMC A-list. You get 1 movie a day or something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now it's 3 movies a week. Yeah. They lowered it. So you could go every single day, and now you can only see 3 a week.
I think still plenty for a lot of you.
Dude, I was shocked. When we went and saw a movie at AMC, it was $25. That means if I had A-list, I would save $5 and be able to see so many more movies that month, which is crazy. So if you're seeing 1 to 2 movies a month, depending on what theaters and stuff you're going to, if you live in a more rural area, tickets are cheaper, so it's probably going to take 2 movies for that to be worth it. Whereas like in LA, 1 movie is worth A-list right now.
Yeah, A-list might be the path for you. Like definitely consider checking out the membership because of these prices. Like even if you don't see AMC, I think sometimes you're like, oh, let's go see it. And you're like, oh, I want to sit in the middle. Oh, but it's more expensive. But if you had the A-list in the back pocket.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay my money for this Sightline thing. Is kind of ridiculous.
And a lot of times the front row, more and more in the future, it hasn't been that bad, but still, like I think the upcharge.
There's some theaters where it is, and some theaters where it sucks.
It changes.
It just depends.
And I know a lot of you guys like sitting on the aisle too, because it's like easy access to the restroom, come back. I don't know, snacks, but
yeah, sure.
Everyone has their preference in the theater, but hey,
totally.
At this point, I've already been going to AMC so much. I'm sold. I'm going. I might be switching to AMC now. I'm like,
depending on how. If I go see a movie tonight and it's AMC, I'm buying it. I'm just going to buy it before I go. It seems like the smart move for me. The money saving move.
So that depends. Save money, everybody. We want you to save money.
Anyways, this absolutely sucks too that AMC is raising the prices. Especially, it just seems like another area where theaters are not making the right decisions, but they
need the money.
Think this is going to need. They think they're going to need this money to stay afloat. And when in reality, I don't think an extra $2 for these like seats in the long run are going to help. Maybe it will, but I think there's just a bigger problem in general about theaters and the survivability of what theaters are now versus what they can become.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
I'm with you.
So everybody, thank you so much for watching this clip. If you're new here, this is Strictly Casual. We cover movies, TV, games, all sorts of stuff. If you want to go listen to the entire podcast, you can go on podcast platforms and type in Freeze Frame, Strictly Casual. It's a yellow box. It says Freeze Frame, and this is episode 98. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Okay, we got some quick noteworthy headlines, some stuff I was noticing. Quiet Place Day 1. John Krasinski posted a photo on his social media. They started that one. Making a little franchise there. He's cooking up his own, he's cooking that up.
Yeah.
He's not directing, though. I think he's producing. Michael Sarnowski is directing. So,
okay.
You keep in mind. But Day 1, I think this is a unique cast.
I saw the behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
I like part 1 and part 2. I kind of would rather have a part 3 instead of a prequel.
Yeah, me too. Give me that part 3, baby. Finish it off.
Part 2 is like left on such a huge cliffhanger. Like, are you kidding me? We're gonna get a prequel before we get the third one?
They're like, you gotta wait. We gotta learn. Maybe you know what? I hope they might do a thing where the first little bit has a secret that will save them in part 3. You know how they do. You learn something. You have to learn. Like in prequels, you got to learn something about this universe or about the rules of these monsters to kind of, I guess, pay off in the finale more. Sure. Maybe that's how it should play out.
We'll see how it
in
goes.
My book.
It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
And then this is interesting you brought here. Patrick Stewart has been told to stand by in regarding a potential Professor X return in Deadpool 3. And Patrick Stewart says, I know nothing more than that, honest. Do you know what's so funny? Is like, we live in such a weird time where there's 100% chance here that Patrick Stewart is on press for Picard season 3 right now, which is supposed to be all redeeming for that show because the first 2 seasons were not good. People say that you could just jump on season 3 and it's the final season and it's great. You don't need to know the prior story, all this. And imagine he's doing press, like very passionate about this and stuff. People are like, Marvel, blah, 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 blah. Do you know anything about Marvel?
I need any scoop I can get.
It's so cringe, bro. I don't know. It's like, will we see you in Professor X Deadpool? Like, that's what I imagine the person asking the question, even though it's probably very, like, it's probably totally fine, but it's so funny to me.
No, it's funny. It's totally, I see that happen. Yeah, in your head, it's very easy for me too, to see that.
He very private life, Patrick Stewart. Like, we don't see him in the news at all very much. He does his shows. He probably goes home, does his thing, lives a quiet, nice life. One red carpet, and he's like 12 guns, Marvel guns pointed at his head. Like,
when are you coming back? No, sorry.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, this is funny because, I know Patrick Stewart. Spoilers or not, but I'm clinging on to any little thing I can get here. I'm one of those guys, and it's funny because he's like, oh yeah, I've been told to stand by and be ready for this. It's like, what? Oh my gosh. Whether he's just saying that out of his head, like just random, like to give something, or if that's true, that would be hilarious if that's true.
I'd like to see him. He's great.
Yeah, it'd be funny. So
actually, I disrespected him so much in Doctor Strange. It's like, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Hey, you said, Wanda, I can help. Oh, dead.
It was pretty epic.
Yeah, it was wild.
That scene was epic in the moment. And really, I don't know how I feel about it after thinking about it for so long.
Look, I've had these conversations before with friends. I'll say, Doctor Strange didn't hit for me. It's
so creative, dude. It was so close to hitting.
It was close.
So close to hitting.
But not there. Not quite there.
Anyways, go watch Evil Dead 2.
Go watch Evil Dead.
More Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a fun part for me. What have you been watching? You padding out that letterbox sheet. Let's chat about it. Shows, movies. What's been cooking on your plate?
I have only watched 2 movies since the last podcast episode. Did I already talk about Battle Royale?
You did talk about yeah, you did, yeah.
I've only watched 1 movie this week. How embarrassing. I watched Babylon. I finished it. Yeah. It's done.
You had some, hey,
Babylon.
I liked your rating and I liked your review. I thought it would be lower based on, but
part of me thinks I have it too high.
Okay.
I give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I think there are parts that hold it down so far, but it reaches so high.
Yeah.
That it's like I can't give it too low of a rating.
Yeah.
There's some great parts in it.
Mm-hmm.
but I think overall it's pretty just vile. It's just a gross movie,
Hmm.
and sure, it shows a love for film history and uh, just the film industry and stuff like that. Um, but I think a lot of the themes are like on the nose of like, oh yeah, people want this greatness and glory, and there's always a downfall to that, and we've seen that 10 million times in different movies. But I think that they were creative in this. They explored it nicely, and my favorite part of the movie was the transition between silent pictures and sound. I thought that was very interesting to explore in this movie,
Yeah.
and it's not bad. It's just I when we talked about this movie for a
Hmm.
year beforehand, I was expecting to like, you know, poop
Yeah.
myself with uh,
Hmm.
Chazelle's Whiplash and La La
Right.
Land
Right.
levels of like beautifulness, and
Hmm.
this is the opposite of
Yeah. It's
beautifulness. This is the
grossness. Yeah.
antithesis
Yeah.
of La La Land. Like La La Land
Hmm.
is the beautiful nature um
The city, essentially,
of
right?
the city of Los Angeles, of New
Hollywood movie
York, of like
making. Yeah.
Hollywood, like yeah, all that kind of stuff. This is the nasty side of it.
Hmm.
It's the polar opposite of La La Land.
Yeah, it makes you. I don't know, if this crossed your mind. I was watching it, and I was like, "Wow, what happened to Damien from then to now?" To like, wow, he's seen some stuff in the city. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, or what has he learned and what has he explored? Where it's like, this is crossing his mind now, where he wanted to make a movie about it. I know it's probably always been there, but I
I
was
think
like, wow,
he kind of writes himself into Diego Calva's character a little bit.
yeah,
And like I wrote at the end of my review, if Chazelle never makes another movie, he makes his point. Like he makes the point that Babylon's trying to make, and that
hmm,
makes this movie way better in my opinion.
yeah,
But he's gonna make more movies, and that's
hmm,
kind of a different point to me. Like the movie is all about telling us like how people overstay their welcome even, and then when they stay too long, they go crazy, right?
true,
Or they
yeah,
have a crazy downfall, and then their downfall is what is their identity
hmm,
falls in instead of the great things they did.
yeah, because it's a machine. Hollywood is a machine.
Yeah.
And you can't kind of forget that and that's what happened with Brad Pitt's character, or I mean
Yeah.
all of them really, not I don't not
All
just
of them.
like, but yeah, all of them, right? And they're like, oh, but what about me? It's like, it's not really, it's about you, but it's kind of not, because it's a giant machine, dude. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's kind of whatever you think. It's subjective, I guess, but like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things into it. But then me rating the movie just on the ending alone, I'm like, oh, is that even valid to do? But
The
I
ending's so
kind of,
interesting to
yeah,
me. I guess it's been out long enough we could talk about it.
yeah,
If you haven't
I
seen
think,
Babylon, skip 5 seconds.
yeah.
Or 30
30
skip a
seconds.
minute. Skip a minute.
Skip a minute. Okay, what was your quick take on the ending? I'll give my. We'll
It's
come first.
fascinating. I mean, he's sitting in a theater, he's watching movies that he helped produce, and audiences like at first, or not he helped produce, but yeah, I mean, there's a couple of them that maybe he's projecting himself on the screen in a
Mhm.
sense of like watching movies that he produced, even though they were watching something else. And he loves this experience. And Diego Calva's like kind of crying in the theater,
Mhm.
watching these shows. But then it progresses it past his career. Like it shows his whole career of like starting in silent movies and then going
Mhm.
into sound movies. And then it's like Singing in the Rain, right? And then um,
The first
it just
movie
starts
to
showing
everything, really. Movies we
everything to
learned about in
current.
school. Movies that
I
we
mean,
were taught.
Avatar.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was different chapters of movies that helped push the medium forward, right? Because just like
Yes.
talkies were back then, I think Matrix changed CGI. Jurassic
Yeah.
Park was prosthetics. What else?
Right.
Like Terminator. Some of those. That's still some of the best CGI. Avatar doesn't matter the movie. That it changed CGI. Like that
Yeah,
is those
right.
movies changed. I think they pushed it forward. So I think he was showing like, look, like these are all the movies that help push it forward, and kind of you're either with it as it's where the machine's going, or you're kind of falling back. But also look at how great that we're continuing to go. We're pushing it forward.
Yeah.
And also
It
with the
did
color too, it's like a painter. Like it's all just color on a screen. It's just how a painter wants to do it. You know what I mean? It's however the person views it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
all
they
just
showed them
color.
dyeing film, like putting dye in
Yeah.
water and then dipping the film in and stuff like
That was
that.
cool.
And it was like red, and then it showed like a bunch of scenes of Margot Robbie like completely red out.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting. I don't know. It's not a bad movie by any means. I was just like so over the grotesqueness of it.
It's a little exhausting. It is like
It's so exhausting. And like part of it really plays into the themes that they're going about, like the downfall and like how gross Hollywood is and stuff like that. but they take it like another step, and that's when it gets like so tiring. I'm like, oh my god. But I recommend watching it.
Yeah.
If you
Me
like
too.
film.
No, me
if you
too.
don't like film history, Hollywood, anything like that, do not watch it. You literally won't get anything out of it, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard to see the depths of it. For sure.
You have to like movies to like
Yeah.
to like this. I really do think so.
The creation movies, all that stuff, because it's like educational. Yeah, all that.
Unless you like gross stuff, unless you're like, you know, kind of weirdo, you know, just watch it.
Just go in, go crazy, right? Yeah.
Just go crazy, bro. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Last night I saw 80 for Brady following the Super Bowl.
Pop off, dude.
Look, me and Peyton were kind of joking about
That's
this.
such a meme.
Yeah, we were like, hey, you want to see 80 for Brady? And it's been weeks where we're like, yeah, are we serious about this or are we joking? And we're like, no, we'll see it. And I was like, F it, we'll go see it someday.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the game ends and we're like, I was like, we should go see 80 for Brady now. And he was like, okay, we can. And I was like, okay, really?
God, Peyton's awesome. I love Peyton. Uh-huh.
So we looked at time and we went to Universal and we saw it. And I was like, cool. And it was a kind of a packed theater, I'll be honest, at 8 p.m.
Really?
Sunday, yeah.
On Super Bowl Sunday, packed theater, 80 for Brady.
Like, it was a small theater, but it was like, you know, majority of seats were gone. It was like a girl and her dad, I think. 2 girls were next to us.
That's
like there
crazy.
Was a group of 4 people that walked in. Like
80 for Brady's bringing people together.
Yeah, it's a sweet story. Yeah, and then I've been watching, dude. I'm on a Wes Anderson run. My whole class is Wes Anderson.
Dude, I saw you rate Royal Tenenbaums. I was very happy with that.
Such a good movie. That's a 9 out of 10, good. Dude. That is almost a 10. Good. It's a perfect film. I had to do a whole presentation on it, so I was like, I analyzed the heck out of it. And then I'm watching Life Aquatic now.
Dude, oh my god, Life Aquatic underrated. It is. Everybody says it's Wes Anderson's worst. God, I love it so much.
It's so silly, dude. They're in the sub.
Willem Dafoe, Owen Wilson, like
come on,
Jeff Goldblum, Bill Murray. It's the best cast.
Yeah, it really is. So, it's a great class, and I'm really like, I knew nothing about Wes. I've never really seen any of these. I'm on like your
professor wrote like a big. You got to ask him about this. He probably talks about it, but like he did a huge, not dissertation on Wes Anderson, but like a huge research project on Wes Anderson.
Okay.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'll talk
about death.
Oh yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, so much involved in the stories. And then I'm always dropping like, hey, New Beverly. Me and Vince were waiting. He's like, yeah, probably next month we'll do a field trip. And I'm like, okay.
Sounds good, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Wes Anderson and 80 for Brady.
I can't wait to hear about your Wes Anderson journey, dude.
Okay, yeah. When I'm complete.
Every year for Halloween, I always say I'm gonna dress up like Steve Zissou from Life Aquatic. I'm gonna get that suit one day. It's so cool. The little red beanie and the cool Adidas shoes.
Yeah, they're clean.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
And people would know too. It's very particular to be like, oh, that's from that's that movie.
Some people would get it, some people wouldn't, but it doesn't matter. I love it. It's just like I just want the suit back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
so good.
There you have it. Fun episode, lots of good stuff. Listen, there's a lot going on. I think March is going to be a crazy month. A lot of releases: Creed, John Wick, some other stuff. So
yeah, I'm gonna buy A-list.
Yeah, A-list is the play. If you've taken anything out of this week's episode, it's maybe consider A-list. Check it out. See for yourself. Yeah. But thanks everybody for listening. Again, we have all our social media linked down below. Follow us on Twitter. You could hear more about us, learn more about us, chat with us on Discord. We have TikTok. Quick updates, and everybody have a great, fantastic week. Enjoy yourselves. Go see a movie at a theater.
Peace out, everybody.